G'day, Loki. Teamed warm up. Hello. That's not what that's for. But hello. I hope you're well. Rules are meant to be broken. No, they aren't. Rules are meant to be followed. Toblerones are made to be broken. What's up, Mass? How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Just chilling. Feeling tired, but I always am. So, nothing new there. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? That's little fucking kitty cat. Yeah, well, that's the reference art for Ratchet. I felt like I needed something a little like I needed to actually keep a reference image for Ratchet, so I've decided to just keep it posted up there. And that's what we got. Whose cat is that? I don't know. Someone's black cat. But they posted it on the internet and it looks like Ratchet, so I'm using it. I thought it was mine. I wish I had a black cat, honestly. I'd love a black cat. But I can't have pets. Unless if you're playing New Vegas, what playthrough would you recommend? Conversation and persuasion is the best in that game. I think everything else is like fine, rudimentary, it works, but conversation is the most rewarding in that game, so just high persuasion, playthrough, playstyle, or whatever else. Yeah, I think in my experience, I've played it like almost double digits, I think, at this point. So I've played it through a lot. I think you always want to go high persuasion, and if you want to just have fun with it as opposed to explore everything, I just go Wild Wild Wasteland. It's just the best. So just have infinite Riz, even if you aren't trying to have Riz. Yeah, and then also like do something like the upgrades you take for conversation and stuff. I think there's one trait that you want really early in the game, which basically just gives you a percentile increase um in what's it called, XP. It's like 10%, but it stacks every level. Oh no, it gives you a percentile increase of your level. So it starts at like 1%, but once you get to level 20, it's a 20% increase. So that's important to take early on, and it can be stacked. So you take as many as you want, and then you get basically a 3 times modifier to your XP. So you actually end up leveling up faster. So that's always useful. Um, and then you rank up faster. Yeah, exactly. And because in New Vegas, you only get traits every second level. So you really actually want to be leveling up quickly. So that's definitely the recommendation from me. And then you go confirmed bachelor and lady killer. So basically, you make your character bisexual, which is absolutely fine. It's great, even. The best way to play that game, you make your character bisexual, and then no character can actually like withstand your persuasion rolls, basically. Off note, but jury rigging is your top 5 favorite perks in New Vegas. Yeah, that's fair. It's a good one too, because a lot of the perks in New Vegas are a lot of fun. So they're all worthwhile, but the best ones are the ones that basically level you up quickly and get you moving in the game. And for the most part, in that game, that's really useful. Not sure about the order, but jury rigging is one of your loves. Yeah, that's fair. Is it one of the ones that has prerequisites? Like some of the perks you can't get until you've gotten different, like previous ones or different ones. And I think that's fair and a really good system, that game as well, because it stops you from being overpowered early. You really got to earn the strength. A knight in shining armor perk is quite literally the worst perk since it actually does nothing due to a bug because it was supposed to protect you from energy weapons, but in the game files it says energy, but not weapons. Yeah, yeah. It's also kind of just not worth taking any perks that have anything to do with armor because you actually want that versatility to switch between as opposed to prioritize light or heavy. And then also that being said, I just like it's rarely recommended to just take heavy armor just because it does slow you down. And for like light armor, it's an unnoticeable change, but then for heavy armor, basically like the boomers mission becomes impossible because you are just too slow to get past like the explosives. I'm gonna do a Legion playthrough, but I also don't want to be an asshole. But you also want the achievements. Just do it. Just do it. Do it and be sad after for a little bit. It's fine. You'll forget. Consider it like a survivalist's playthrough. Just doing what you need to survive, so you're allying with the most powerful force. And sure, you're still gonna be an asshole for it, but that's fine. You're surviving. And I know you know this, but playing the game again is so nice since you skip all the boring parts. You know what to do how and how to go. And yeah, I have found I find great comfort in replaying a lot of games like that I like. But for New Vegas, I think I've probably reached that limit. I think I probably won't play it ever again. Which is like, I mean, unless when I'm older, have a change of heart, which I'm fully fair, like willing to do. But like, I don't think, at least not for a very long time. I've played it so many times. Like, I won't be so lost. But since I'm a New Vegas lore nerd, I know what's what. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like there are a bunch of New Vegas like things you may have missed um in New Vegas kind of videos, and those are great. Those are really fun to watch because I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't know that." There's some really huge stuff that is so easy to miss in that game. Fine. I watch it from TK Mantis on YouTube if you know who it is. Possibly. I'm not good with names. So maybe. Potentially yes. I've probably seen them or seen their videos, but it's always hard for me to remember. I'm just not good with names. And I've done two Collecting Shadows here. Has the reason why I know where the only bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum is? Oh, he's the reason why you know where the only bottle of Nuka-Cola Quantum is in Vegas. That's cool. But yeah, there are some really videos on secrets and stuff like that, which is awesome. And since I've gotten to that point where I'm probably not going to play again for a very long time, it's super cool to see how much more depth there is to this game. Doesn't necessarily make me want to like pick it up and play it again, but it's, it's still excellent. I do feel like I'm not missing out. You can basically do a collector's playthrough of New Vegas where you just get rarest items, which sounds pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. But I like doing that like to its credit, I like doing that in Fallout 4 because of the base building, you could actually put up displays and stuff, so all the rare shit that you collected had somewhere to go, and you could display it in like a trophy room, which I really liked because you could kind of display it in a way that you wanted to show it, and you could do some really cool stuff with it, like the way the space looked. I like that about Fallout 4. That's pretty badass. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do. A little bit like creepy and unnerving, but when I got to the point, spoilers for Fallout 4, but when I got to the point where I fought Kellogg, the guy who kidnaps your son, and I killed him, right, you can display it on high school's display, and there's school trophies. Oh, how high schools display their school trophies. Yeah, pretty much. Um, when I got to Kellogg, I killed him, and then you get a inhibitor chip, or like you get some cybernetic upgrades that were in his system, and they're physical items that you can actually just drop in the world. And so I did that. I and then I made a trophy uh, with his like inhibitor chips, with like a skull and his gun. And I was just like, yeah, that's what you get for kidnapping my boy. Yeah, little creepy, very unnerving, but also very funny. It's like that'll teach you. Love it, mouse. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, I gotta do background. And by background, I mean lines. Lines of backgroundy. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna need to shift click. It's one of the things. So when I do like evil playthroughs or things like that, I just you just go hardcore evil, but also considering what he did, who gives a fuck? Yeah, it is also like in the game, they try and like explain his nature, that he was like he had a fucked up life and shit like that. And I'm like, that doesn't necessarily condone what he does. So glad I killed him. Haven't you haven't you played I haven't even played Fallout 4, but don't care. Yeah, no, basically he just kidnaps your son. Um, just kidnaps your son, but your son turns out to be a bit of a prick anyway, so fine. Um, but with that said, yeah, like I was saying, when I play like bad guys and stuff, or play the bad versions, I go like hardcore. It's because you may as well explore that stuff. And I've talked about how like in Dishonored, when I did the full lethal playthrough, I like in the first Dishonored 2 when I did the full lethal playthrough when I was escaping the palace right at the start. I killed pretty much everybody except for one dude, just one guard. Oh no, I think it was the target basically. I killed everyone but the target, and then I like knocked him unconscious, left him there for a moment, and then basically built up a throne of corpses, and then chucked his unconscious body onto the throne, and then set the throne on fire. I was like, this is fucking grim. This is really fucking dark, but also, um, it's fun. Doesn't excuse what the Joker does. Sure, he lost his wife and kid in a car crash in at least one version of DC. Yeah, doesn't mean he can leave babies to die in a safe, which he does. He also does in a comic. Yeah, the various versions of the Joker have done various fucked up things or had various fucked up lives, but it doesn't condone anything it does in any of the comics. Yeah, agree. In the new 52, he slices his own face off and then just leaves it on Commissioner Gordon's doorstep. And a year later, he comes back. He's like, I want my face back. Um, and then he staples it back on and it's like, wow, this is fucked up. That was a good comic. That's what I do in Prototype. I just run into a crowd and slaughter innocent people because I'm basically God. Yeah, I enjoyed Prototype. Prototype was super cool, and I really wish it actually worked on PC because I would play Prototype 1 again. But it just does, like, the port on uh, Steam doesn't work. So I feel bad for the Joker, but he should know from his pain he shouldn't continue the process of people getting hurt. Yeah, no. Nah, not at all. Um, but I did enjoy that game because, like, I love that. I really love the first one. It was super cool, super creepy, and like you were a monster, and you knew you were a monster. Like you start the game, you've woken up, and you're just like, I have no memories of who I was, but I know I'm like a psychopathic monster now. Um, and it's like he doesn't accept it, but he's like, I know this is morally wrong, but it also feels normal, which is so creepy but cool. You played Prototype for the first time and you loved it. Haven't finished it, but you did like it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's such a good game, especially for the time it came out, because it's not new. It's an old game. It's an older game, but it's so cool. It's such a cool concept. It's a cool idea. It has stuff from other games that I really like. Has concepts and things from games that I really enjoyed, where you can like become people, and I really like that. Like in games, it seems it's super creepy and super cool at the same time, where you basically can just absorb a person and then become them. And so you use that to like sneak by uh, guards and stuff. And it's such a cool concept. It's such a cool like idea. I wish more games did that. But it also came out around about the same time Infamous came out, and they're fairly similar games. But it was also during a time where superheroes were more fun or more appreciated than monsters. Yeah, so it wasn't quite as popular. It's very well you could be good and moral and stuff, or throws Book of Morals out the window. You could do what the fuck you want. Yeah, I actually don't even think it's like you could be good. It's like you're gonna be fucked up, but you get to decide the rules as well, which I thought was super cool. Like you can decide where your morality is. You can explain away your crimes, but you're still like doing evil shit. Playing New Vegas right now. Nice. I pray it doesn't crash on you. That's the best wish I can give you about New Vegas. It's because holy crap, on PC that game crashes a lot. Pray to Obsidian. I pray to Obsidian, yeah. Please don't crash. Hey. There we go. New Vegas to you is that game that's absolute fucking gorgeous or absolutely fucking gorgeous when it doesn't crash. But besides that, I love it. Even if I can get it to work, still good though. If you can get it to work, still good though. Yeah, I definitely come from the school of thought where New Vegas is great. Even if it does crash, it doesn't ruin the experience. But it's also like the reason why I'll never stream New Vegas. So if you're ever hoping for me to stream New Vegas, I'm not going to do that just because if it crashes, it's going to shut down my computer. And that basically means stream's over if it crashes, and I do not want that. Mouse, what's a cool name for courier? Are you starting from the beginning? Why he wants to know for a cool courier name. Yes, nice. Uh, cool name for a courier. The names, so I'm not quite as inventive with my names. Um, Usually I would go by like my gamer tags, so it's not quite as interesting. Oh, I should have said that I'm playing New Vegas again, but restarting all over again. It's all good. That makes sense. Sounds like fun. Um, like when I played my evil playthrough, I was Dishonest Abe, and I just played Abraham Lincoln, but an evil version of him. Other than that, I don't have great suggestions. Cowboy name would work, I think. Cowboy name would work quite well. That's what's the most average and basic name you can think of. I might do that. Like Dave or something. Uh, Hilariously, my brain's gone blank. Hold on. Garbanzo. I know it's not an average name, but Agave Garbanzo. Super basic. John. Graham. Jim. Jim is good. Amount. Jimmy Neutron. Jim from The Office. Yeah, it's a pretty average name. The basic. Hey, Smiley, how you doing? How you been? How's your week been? Oh, look, it's a super late mouse. I am super late. Look at me. I'm late. Hour late. Or, depending on when you know me, to catch streams or start streams, super early. Or on time. Actually, definitely not early. Just either on time or late. How you doing, Loki? How you been sleeping? Sleeping well? Now, should I just skip the character creation? The trope of RPGs, as you know, is that we spend like 3 hours designing our character, and when and then just to wear a helmet the whole time. Should I skip it all? No, because then you'll have like a super basic looking character. And if you ever have a moment where you're playing and then you just look at your character's face and it's like super normal, that's lame. You gotta make a character's face. Like you gotta give your character like a personality or an appearance. But your name is super basic as well. Yeah, but like then there's a dichotomy there where you got a super basic name, but you look like a smashed crab. You know, doing good. Just got back from work. Bought salad from Subway. Subway. That's nice. Nice. Is it a busy day at work? You feeling wiped? I know I am. I work full time and gotta say, pretty exhausting. Pretty sleepy making mouse. It's pretty good at making me tired. That old 9 to 5. Currently waking up. Yeah, nice. Yeah, yeah, Thursdays are tiring. Yeah. Thursdays are new Fridays though. So you got that going for you. It may mean nothing to you. Um, but hopefully it does. Doesn't does mean something. Well, you work full time and stream as well. Yeah, I do. I am a full time uh mouse as well as a part time mouse. I do a lot of work. Yeah. But I like to keep busy as well, so it kind of feels okay. This doesn't feel like work. This feels like a break, honestly. Y'all make it so easy to stream. Smug face to camera. You could see me. Just see a really smug expression. But yeah, like this doesn't feel like work. This feels like chilling. Is there any point of Doc Mitchell asking you what pictures mean to you? They're just for your like skill tree. So you can skip them if because basically you get to choose anyway. So you can just kind of. I usually just run through the motions and just pick whatever. Sometimes he'll have like different dialogue depending on various drastic answers you choose, but otherwise it's not super important. Yeah, you get to choose what your abilities are anyway, because ultimately, if they didn't, that'd be pretty fucked up. But yeah, like it's not necessarily a point, but you know, yeah, the goat test in 3 selects your stats and stuff, but that again, you also get to change them. It kind of tells you what like, and that's a nice like little bit of customization. But ultimately, when it comes to stats, it actually doesn't make a difference because your teacher, Mr. Harrington, I think his name, that's his name, he'll let you pick whatever. And then you get to repick anyway if you're not happy with that. as well. So like it's good because it gives you that customization. Doesn't railroad you. So it means nothing, and should you just run through it, you do what you like, mate. You don't want to sit through conversation, then run through it. If you do, and you like the sound of Doc Mitchell's voice, then maybe sit around, listen to it. Just gonna make sure the dogs are barking. He doesn't sound like that. He's an older man. Just gonna make sure all the dogs are barking. That was close. It wasn't great, but it was close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. York. Hello, Creo. How you doing? Bjork, Bjork. Bjork, Bjork, Bjork. G'day, Gramoose. Hello. How has your week been, Rio? Rebo? Have you had a good week? Was it full of joy and good night's sleep? That's the most important thing in my chat, is making sure that y'all are sleeping well. Because I sure as fuck don't. Week has been good. Hey, nice. That's what I love to hear. Sleep has been fine. Less, less what I want to hear, but you know, it can't be helped. I mean, it can be helped, but it's also like, ugh. Gym has been great. Hey, nice. Any new PBs? And today is Wiki's birthday. Ah, happy birthday, Wiki! I hope you have a great and wonderful birthday. Hope. Sorry. Something out of the corner of my eye and I gotta go fix it. And I hope it's the kind of birthday that when you wake up tomorrow in a Groundhog Day-esque situation, you're like okay with it. Because it's your birthday. Because it's still your birthday. Yeah, nah, kinda. I mean, was there progress? Was there gym progress? As a mouse who doesn't necessarily gym much, I have the gym vocabulary of sponge. I got good 6-month progress photos. Hey, that's awesome. That's like the big thing, isn't it? It's like it may not feel like huge progress this week, but you look back on where you started and it's a huge difference, and you're just like, yeah, done well. How about so we could, good on you, something. Did a 50 kilogram Bulgarian split squats. Holy crap! I mean, hey, Enya, thank you so much, Enya's chat and community for jumping in. Hello, 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 hello. Bunch of lovely new people. Hello, Enya. How you doing? Oh, thank you so much, Loki. Just beat me to it. You always do, though. So, what do I expect? What were you doing, Enya? How was your stream? Hi, Grandmas. We got your hat as a redeem multiple times today. Oh, that's wonderful. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. How was your stream? What were you doing? And for Enya's community, hi, I'm Grey Mouse. I am an Australian illustrator currently working through a comic based on a D&D campaign that was never finished, where we follow a goblin rogue called Ratchet. We're currently up to chapter 2, but it's so lovely to have you all here, and lovely to meet all of you. If Brendan, you were playing silly co-op game called Kiwi. We play as Kiwi birds working in a post office. It's absolutely insane. Oh my goodness, that sounds so cute. Love Kiwis. They're so adorable. How good you wouldn't like the last game and you played. It involved cassowaries. Oh no! You do know I fear the cassowary. I deeply fear the cassowary. Yep. Yeah, I'm terrified of cassowaries. They're like world's most dangerous animal. Spooky creatures. I know what they're like. I think have you raided into me before, Enya? I wonder. Thank you so much for the raid as well. Very, very sweet of you to do so. They look like actually dinosaurs, dude. They do. They're horrifying. I mean, like, apparently they're decently peaceful, but um, still scary. Like, super scary. Can't remember. That's fair. I'm just wondering because I'm always like, every time people raid in, they're always a little surprised by how I sound. Like, my voice is not what they expect. So I'm always a big fan of just asking. It's like, oh yeah, you been here before? If not, yes, this is how I sound. I'm not putting on an act. I mean, I have been here before, I just couldn't remember if I rated that is all. Oh yeah, fair enough. You do know my voice. Thank goodness. Yeah, very sweet. Mouse, I might get the Wild Wasteland trait, but what other trait do you suggest? That's tough. I used to go Four Eyes, like I used to always choose Four Eyes. We're talking Fallout New Vegas here, if anyone has any suggestions for Zombie Slayer. I usually go Four Eyes and then just keep glasses on, but ultimately that may not be ideal. Cassowary are just dinosaurs who didn't get the whole extinction memo. Yeah, exactly. They withstood whatever extinction event took everything else out. And they were just like, yeah, light work, no reaction. Yes, if there's a Fallout New Vegas nerd, I'd love your suggestions. Yeah. Art's looking great, Greymouse. Really should work on your own emotes again someday. Should. I'd love to see your new emotes once they're done. I love your current emotes though, to be fair as well. Big fan. It's your emotes are one of the few ones that I actually use like outside in other people's streams because they are so cute and funny. Now you're very welcome. It's just the nature of talent. I love seeing talented artists and I love to support talented artists, so good. Cute and funny like Mouse. Hey Milky, how you doing? Now you know Milky, flattery will get you everywhere here. Lovely to see you, Milky. How you doing? Ask, can I wear glasses with all types of helmets? No, absolutely not. You can't wear glasses with any types of helmet. That's actually useless. Yes, and yours are incredibly iconic. I want more meme ones. I should really put together more meme ones. I'm working on an animated one currently of Punga, my assistant. For those of you who don't know, I will show. So in the poster art stream, this is Punga. Fighting a calm and sleep and your brain. Don't know what to do. That's Punga, the little guy there. Little acorn. So I'm doing a bongo cat of Punga. Sweet little bean. And he deserves some emotes. He's got a sticker, but he deserves emotes. You know? Don't know what to do. You should have a nap, Milky. You've more than earned it. I'm sure you've had a very tough day. I agree. Is Logan's loophole any good, Mass? I can't remember what that one is. Needs all the emotes and stickers. Yeah. Well, I'll do more and stuff. And I was thinking at a certain point, I will actually start the run to make some plushies and stuff. If people like plushies, be sure to let me know because there will be plushies coming soon. Not of Punga, not yet. Uh, Based on popular demand, the plushie that I'll be working on first will actually be this guy. His name is Aratu, and he's probably going to be the first plushie to be made. But it depends on what people want. I might do a vote as well, to be fair. Hell yeah, plushies, gimme, gimme. Burger DB, Burger B Gib. Yes, Burger B, also known as Burger B. He's sweet bean and he deserves the love. And he's getting plenty of it because the community adore him. Look at dem beady eyes, yeah, exactly. Gorgeous. He's a gorgeous little guy and he deserves all the love. And of course, I know that if I do an Aritu plushie first, I can just go into Ellipsial's stream and be like, "Hey, I'm making a plushie of a bee. Everybody support it." and I'll get those numbers up. They looked like a burger to me, so shall forever be Burger Bee. Yeah, that panel, he definitely looks like a burger. He's quite like squished up and stuff. So I fully agree with you there. But very Australian in that sentence. Why? But hey, who am I to complain? It is who I am. Alright, that's that panel done, actually. So we move on. Hello, Bad at Games. 02, how you doing? Welcome to my community. Thank you for jumping in with Enya's lovely, lovely raid and a very sweet community. I really appreciate all the love and support. Find your name is very fitting. Hey, that's fair. Like, that's fair enough. I'm absolutely terrible at games as well, so I can definitely respect that. I got a bad aim. You see, if you've seen any of my Dead Space stuff, no, very bad at it. Games. Self. That's not good. I'm glad people like your realism sketches, but can people ask for anything else? You wanna you wanna do something more surreal, something more cartoony? If you ever need someone to ask for goofy uh, suggestions, I will absolutely send goofy suggestions your way. Mouse, do you know the reward hardcore gives you if you beat it? Absolutely not. I don't actually. I'll admit. Something I don't have to hyper focus on realism is never good enough. Yeah, oh, I know that. Like, I know that so well. I fully agree with you. It can be so tiring to have to hyper fixate on stuff like that because it has to be perfect because it is realism. Um, I remember for a very long time I was doing realism, uh, and like traditional art, and it just drained my brain. It is so technical and comprehensive. So like, good on you for doing it. But I also I fully agree. It's a lot. Thanks for your input, Mouse. You're welcome. That could have been sarcasm, but it doesn't register with me. Just glad it's front facing, waist up, and not a weird angel full body. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. A nice bust uh, portrait, which I do like. Those are good. Those are fine. It's not, I swear. Have I shown you your previous commission? Maybe, but if you'd like to show me it again, I'd be more than happy to see it. You can post links in here. You won't be timed out. I think it should be clear to post links. or you can also go through my Discord. That also works too. Oh no, I just realized I put the Ratchet reference in the warm-up space, not the reference space. Oh. My immersion. Ooh. Let's go to post. Do you mind if I show this off? Because it's fantastic. Why, Mass doesn't have a Discord, he has Discord. D&D Tiefling for your friend, sure thing. Sweet. Because it's beautiful. Lovely. Post hunger of air. There he goes. He holds it up because he's clean. We love him to bits, this little guy. Very good. He's very good at holding up art. And every piece of art you guys show Punga, he learns. And one day he'll take over my job. That is lovely. Thank you, Bean. Good holding. He does good. You got to make sure to let him know. Let him know that he's doing a good job because he loves the positive reinforcement. I love the line work. The shading is fantastic as well. You've done a really nice job of this. And also, like I know not many people say this, but like the angle that you've chosen to sketch from, that's not an easy angle. So you've done a really good job. Done a fantastic job on the angle as well. Proportions are great. Big fan. I'm a big fan of what you've done here. Thank you. It was personal hell. Fair enough. Yeah, neat perspective. The perspective is fantastic. Good on you. And good on you for like choosing to do it, even if it was tough, even if it was like not fun to do. You did it, and now your like internal mental image library is bigger, has been expanded. You owed her after postponing because the traditional sketch was not up to your standard. That's fair enough. It's always going to feel like that, right? Like, I mean, let me tell you, I did wedding photography for my friends, and my camera was busted. So I didn't know my camera was busted, but I did wedding photography for my friend's wedding, and only 3 pictures came out. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I was like so unhappy. Oh, wedding photography, I could never. It's yeah. Oh man, it's tough. It's really stressful. So I'll never do it again. But I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. If you want a refund, I'm more than happy to give it. And they didn't pay me any money. I'm far too anxious of a person. Yeah, I get that. It's definitely not something that you should do if you are anxious or have anxiety about stuff like that. I was definitely anxious about it, and I don't necessarily get anxious about this coin. Boy, that's more accurate. He's supposed to be there. He's a reference. He's a reference image, not a warm up. So, for those of you who don't know, that is actually the reference I have for Ratchet. It's just a black cat that I've drawn goggles on and a snoz on. That is literally his reference. That's not even a joke, guys. That is his reference. I use that as a reference for his face. Cute. Thank you. Not my cat. Great reference. Yeah. You derive inspiration from the strangest of things. And even though I'm drawing a cartoon, it's still good to take inspiration from real life. Am I right, fellow artists? Absolutely. Yeah. I think even if you're drawing like cartoons or comics or things like that, or and references are always necessary, even if you've drawn something 1,000 times, still use them. Oh, absolutely. No, I agree. 100%. Very small, but I like making things like this. Ooh, hold on. Let me save my work as well. Very important. Always save your work. Let me zoom in that. Uh, that is so beautiful. That's very cute. Might be hard to see, but would you mind if I showed it? Always save it times. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Gotta save it twice just to be safe. Based off old cat, but made it white. That's super cute. I love like because that's such a cool like stylistic look. Oh, go ahead. Oh no, I forgot to save. Save. Look. Longer. Hold up the image. There you go. Thank you, Punga. That's lovely. Yeah, I really love that style. Like the way you use like very minute or minimalistic colors, the pose. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's super cute, super charming. It exudes personality, which I love. Great silhouette. Yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. I like it. Yeah, I really like that. So like for my personal art, I actually never use whites or blacks in color work, just because I want to make specifically vibrant images. And this I love because it is so like what's the word I'm looking for? Direct in the way that you use color, because it's intentional. Um it is minimalistic while also being, you present as much as you need and know how much you need. It's fantastic. I love it. And also, that's my favorite color of like yellow as well. The like mustard yellow, fantastic. Needed a milky character, and she was like, "Hello, yeah, it's good, it's cute, it's so cute." Also, I love cute little characters, so this is just right up my alley. Anything that exudes personality, fantastic. The original is actually your profile picture right now. Ah, nice. Yeah, of course, because exactly. So fitting. I love it. She actually has one eye character. Oh, really? I mean, because it's side on, we can't necessarily tell, but like, that's cool. Say that until you meet Ayubi from Uyella Magica. I'd love to know what that means. Is it an anime? If it's an anime, I'm very behind on them. I go lurky now for bed. I hope you have a wonderful rest of stream. Go chat. All good, Enya. Thank you so much for the raid. Really lovely of you to drop by. I really appreciate it. Thank you for bringing your wonderful community here. Have a good sleep, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Ah, pretty much. It's a direct anime of magical. Ah, cute. Always assume anime for big hearts to Enya. Must remember. I will definitely remember to thank you at the end of the stream, and in my like closing tweet. Oh wait, closing X now. Short answer: cute magical girl mascot, evil as fuck. I like that. He's cheeky. They're cheeky. They got um spice to them. Like it. I literally moved back to the screen and saw this dumb little cat's face, and I was like, amazing. Oh, thank you, Bad at Games. Thanks for following. I really appreciate that. Welcome to my community. We call ourselves the Yakult because we like Yakult. Um, Also, for anyone who's interested, I should also just mention that with our Discord, mind if I post one last thing? Go for it. Be my absolute pleasure. I will just say one thing for all you artists and budding comic enthusiasts. I have a channel in my Discord. That reference is so cute. It is super cute. It's such a sweet little cat. I saw it and I was like, that's Ratchet. So now I use it as a reference. But for those of you who are artists or would like to be involved in the comic in some way or some capacity, we have a channel on my Discord called Character Reference, where you are more than welcome to post character designs and character ideas that you have, and I will be including them in the larger populated areas of the comic. So if anyone's interested, be sure to drop into the Discord and get involved. It's not like a competition thing, like you don't win an addition to the like a character addition to the comic. It is just post your reference and I will draw them up in Rat Baby, which is the acronym for my comic. As it is called Ratchet and the Beanstalk Brigade, lovingly condensed down to Rat Baby, because I'm the mouse. And it is my baby. My rat baby. Yeah, I always got to remember to kind of like let people know about that because I think it's one of the best things on my Discord, other than the anime references, anime recommendations channel, and the memes channel. All very good. Also, the community is fantastic. So, all very good reasons to join. Posture check. Thank you for that. Ah. Bend backwards. Hear just a loud crack. That's right. I'm going to be a woman in New Vegas to sell Benny to Isa. Good call. Very good call. Sell that dirtbag. The Legion. Then are you gonna knife fight him? Or are you just gonna let him be crucified? But how could you do that to Chandler from Friends? Sure, he shoots you in the head, but he's Chandler from Friends. Just to show the thought process of making the cat. Hey, I love that. I love anytime someone shows their work, shows their process. Check it out. Oh, oh, this video. Ah. Not sure, but I haven't ever sold Benny to Kaiser, but I've always wanted to do it, so I will. So you will. I might fight him though. Yeah, why not? Or do whatever. Do whatever you desire. Let me. Where's my post? I will show you all because it's super lovely. Oh yeah, that's. I don't think you guys will be able to. Oh well, the sound is not. Sound is just like fans going. Play that again, just so that people can see it. Yeah, you weren't saying anything. Yeah, it's fair enough. I like it. I like to work through a process as well. Um, so this appeals to me as well. I love a good draft. I love a good process breakdown. So that's right up my alley. because I'm also currently working on a sketchbook or like a large process book for this entire comic. And so far I'm about 5 pages in, but it's super comprehensive and it's like partially like it's kind of mind numbing, but it's also a really good thing to do just because it actually gets the process out of my head and onto something. I thought I was already in Discord, but you fixed that. Hey, welcome to the Yeah Cult. All good. We never remember mistakes. It's welcome. Hope you feel at home here. We try and make a nice positive community, so you're more than welcome to be here. Oh, hey. Ah, thank you so much, Zariaka. Thank you for following. Welcome to the community. Welcome to Yeah Cult. I hope you guys enjoy my little gifts of new followers and things, and what else? And my raid stuff. It's all Ratatouille based. Hello. Are those potato emotes? They're great if they are. If not, they're also still great. Lovely to meet you. How you doing? People who don't remember their mistakes are bound to repeat them if they can remember them. Nah. Forget your mistakes. We move on from mistakes. Ratatouille's a top tier movie. Hey, you're welcome here. You'll fit in very well in this space. We love Ratatouille here. Uh, Otherwise, it's always the first time. Uh, it's the Mata Nui statue from Bionicle. Oh, that makes sense. That's awesome. Dropping a little bit of Australian culture into my chat. I love it. No mistakes, only lessons. That's actually a way better way of putting it. Not move on from your mistakes. They didn't happen. It's almost as bad of a saying in this chat as gaslight gatekeep grey mouse, which is also a saying in this chat. It is, of course, a joke. I don't do any of that. Don't gaslight, I don't gatekeep, I don't grey mouse. I mean, I do grey mouse. Everything else, though, false. You need that as as merch poster, please. The gaslight gatekeep grey mouse. I'll make a note of that. Hold on. Jump to the warm up page and I'll just quickly write out. Oh, wait, no, that's not going to work. Let's do a line quickly. Nice, I love it. Nice merch idea. Merch as a poster. Would you prefer it as a poster or as like a t-shirt? Gramos does do Gramos, but for all we know, it's only for all we know, it's only when he streams. Gramos does do Gramos only when I stream. That is true. I am Gramos on stream. In real life, I'm just Grey. In real life, I'm just Gatekeep. My actual name is Gatekeep. That's a fucked up hand. That don't look good at all. a picture of Grey Mouse guarding a gate while holding a gas lantern. Ooh, that'd be cute. I like that. And then we have the writing like in descending kind of order. I love it. I love it. I'll put that together. Cute. Cute. I mean, very funny, not cute. Super cute. I mean, I keep saying cute. Super funny. Sorry, not cute. Like, oh, cute. Yeah, gaslighting is cute. Here in Grey Mouse's stream, we can be both. True. Here in Grey Mouse's stream, gaslighting is cute. Mouse is cute. Hey, I appreciate that. I do what I can. Do what I can. I do what I can. Just switch to Tiny Mouse. Tiny Tired Mouse. Still think I'm cute? I'm sleep deprived. That's when I'm my cutest. Ah, shit. Can't be stopped. The relentless Riz. Ah, shit. Zombie Slayer has infected my mind. I apologize, everyone. I don't usually say Riz, unironically. Grey hair. Do you have his grey hairs? Probably not. Ah, we get to see the most incremental, like, slightest uh, image of Dogen without grey hairs. Should I show you guys? Those of you who don't know, this is Dogen. Very popular. Very popular with my community. Well, very popular with the readers. Uh, from chapter one. People really liked him. Like the silver fox look. Now, for those of you who want to see Baby Ratchet in color, don't worry. There is going to be a chapter coming soon where you will. This one, sadly, you won't because it's a picture. It's a black and white picture. But don't worry. You won't need to wait long to see a Baby Ratchet color. That's a good question for chat. Where are you guys at your cutest? Out of curiosity, asking for a friend. I think I'm at my cutest. Um, this is just me being troll, but I think I'm at my cutest in between my first and second poop. So sorry, Enya's chat. And his community, those of you who are sweet and wholesome individuals, this is not the place for you. I'm a mess of a person. A humorous mess of a person, but also I can't help but say something cursed. Baby atoms. Exactly. Atom Ratchet. dark. Yeah, there we go. Also, for those of you who like photography or cinematography, you'll all be pleased to know that I am a photographer and I have qualifications in cinematography, and a lot of this comic will actually implement a lot of the stuff that I know and have studied. So if you like vintage photography or film photography, guess what? There's stuff here for you. That you'll get something out of this comic. So little bit of goodness there for you. Suited, hello, welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Let me show you the comic. So far, this is what we got. What do you think? It's not necessarily like the most happening page, but you know, we got to build up to the exciting stuff. Doing good? How am I? I'm doing okay. I'm recovering from illness, so I'm a little bit croaky, but otherwise doing good. So great. Ratchet is so adorable. Thank you. I appreciate it. Do you appreciate the reference panel on my stream overlay? That is the actual reference that I use for Ratchet's face. Yes, it is a black cat. But it works. It works for me. That's literally Ratchet's face. So I don't change too much about it. But I keep it there just so that I make sure that I know how thick I make his head. Looks like bear, hee hee, but smart idea. Does look like a bear, doesn't it? But yeah, it's got the features in all the right places, so I like to keep that one around. Bear is the name of your black cat. Oh, that's such a good name. So cute. I love that. I didn't know, but I'm glad I do know now. For those of you who don't know, Suited is also a comic. She does work. Shout out. I know you didn't raid, but deserve a shout out. You're great. Give them a follow. They're awesome. They do comic. They illustrate for a comic as well. Uh, their comic is fantastic. They actually have multiple chapters out, so very worth checking out and reading. I only have the one chapter out, so you'll get your fun out of chapter one, and then you can come back later. But while you're waiting, definitely worth reading a really good comic. Oh, you're very welcome. We gotta support each other, us Twitch artists. And hey, I'm gonna support you anyway because you're great. You gotta let people know. Gotta let people know about you because you deserve that notoriety, that renown. I also finally subscribed to yours on Tappers. Oh, sweet! I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Get notified once chapter 2 comes out. You'll be waiting a little while, but not quite as long as people were waiting for chapter 1. So, that's good. At the very least, that's something. As I say pretty much every fact from the mouse. Ooh. Let me think of a fact while I say, as I say pretty much every stream, the first page took me 4 months of first page of chapter 1 took me 4 months. So I've already finished the first page of chapter 2, so that doesn't tell you that we're on a roll. nothing would. Gotta have more plagiarism outsourcing. I mean, inspirations. Oh my god. Accurate, grim, but oh my god. I mean, excellent, very funny. Now you did redeem a fact, so let me have some think. Let me use my noggin. Yeah, you'll get faster over time. No worries. What took you 3 months in the beginning, you're now doing 10 days. That's awesome, and that is very motivating as well. So I appreciate you telling that. It does. It does definitely feel so much quicker now, and the process doesn't feel definitely doesn't feel hopeless as well. Like I know that I'll get it done, and I know that I'll make progress. It's a matter of when, as opposed to a matter of if, which is excellent. But it's also like you got to keep reminding yourself because it's so easy to get kind of disparaged sometimes. Fact from that. So let me use my brain, and I won't just give you facts about the world. I might the world of my comic. I can do that as a different redeem, but that can be later. Um, trying to think because like some of my favorite facts are historical facts. Um, so those are the ones I always kind of go to. I've told you guys about the devil's uh, violin before. Mouse, would you be interested in Fallout YouTubers who post lore and trivia videos? For sure. If you want to post that into the videos tab on the Discord, by all means do so. And while I think of a fact for you. Actually, I got one. For those of you who don't know, Harry Potter. So in the first movie, I shall do my Lord Greymouse. Excellent. In the first movie, when Severus Snape asks Harry a bunch of different questions about. Oh, actually, no, fuck that. Basically, I'll give you this one, but I'll also give you another one that's better. Um, so when he asks Harry a bunch of those questions that seem kind of targeted, you're a wizard mouse? Yes. I wish. I'm definitely a muggle. Or a mudblood, let's be honest. But a mudblood without magic. I'm clearly not magic. I'm Hufflepuff as well. But for those of you who have watched me for more than maybe like 10 minutes, you know that. Oh, I know this one. Yeah, so he asks Harry a bunch of very targeted questions, and Harry doesn't know the answer to any of them. Basically, it's the Latin indication to I'm sorry about Lily. So basically, he asks a bunch of different questions that all actually, if translated from Latin, basically mean I am sorry for Lily. I know what he means when he says those questions. Yeah, you're a talking mouse who can draw. You're a wizard enough. You're a talking mouse who can draw. You're wizard enough. That's a fair point. That's magic done unto me, almost like a curse, if you will. Am I revealing lore or backstory, or am I just spouting rambling nonsense? Who knows? Um, but the actual fact that I will give you is that It's also a Latin-based fact because I'm quite good with Latin. Not an interesting thing, just a point about me. But Antarctica is actually Latin for no bear or no bears. So anti, which is no, and Antarctica or Tarctic is bear. And basically, it means no bear because in the Arctic there are polar bears. In the Antarctic there are no polar bears. And that's where it gets its name. That's so random but pretty cool. Yeah, there you go. Just a little bit of trivia. That is a cool fact. Hey, it's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do. It takes me like 30 minutes to think of them, but hey, once they're out, they're interesting. Sometimes. uh, but it is weird, like the amount of Latin. stuff that I know. I do find Latin immensely interesting, but I think my knowledge of Latin derives from my studies of French. Your favorite type of Latin bear name is Ursus uh, arctos arctos, which means bear, bear, bear. Yes, yeah. Latin isn't perfect, admittedly, as you could tell by what Suited has just told us, informed us of. Latin ain't perfect. My favorite Latin um, name, which I learned from Fantastic Mr. Fox, is Vulpus Vulpus, which is fox. Um, because there's a line in it where he stops on the road and sees a wolf, and he goes, Canis lupus, Vulpus Vulpus, and like points to himself. He like points out to him, and he goes, Canis lupus, Vulpus Vulpus, and then points to himself. And I'm like, I really like Vulpus Vulpus because Volpe is Latin for fox. Is Latin for fox. So Vulpus Vulpus is just fox. And then for those of you who like Assassin's Creed, in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio meets with a man called Volpe, which Volpe is Italian for fox. And you meet another character who's known as the Fox, and it is only later revealed that Volpe and the Fox are the same person. But those of you who know Latin or Italian also know that already. Um, Also, another thing about um, polar bears and bears is that polar bears have only continued to exist, so they almost went extinct. Uh, if it weren't for one very horny brown grizzly bear at one point in time. So when in what's it called? I can't remember where it is, but basically during a period of history, uh, polar bears repopulated by crossbreeding with grizzly bears, and it was more specifically, it was one female grizzly bear who uh, continued the lineage because I don't know this for certain, but apparently polar bear like DNA is the dominant DNA, but they can still breed with grizzly bear or bears basically. Good lord, languages hurt your head sometimes. Languages are complicated. I don't know how I know so much about Latin, but I do, and now it's a curse that I force upon my audience, and there's not a goddamn thing you guys can do about it. I actually don't use a lot of Latin in this comic as well, if you guys want to know that as a fact. I do not use Latin at all. I actually don't base any of the languages in Latin or Germanic. Languages are fun. Languages are fun. You are right, Suited. Fuck what Zombie Slayer said. Languages are fun. They are. One of my favorite one of my favorite movies is actually uh and now the name of it is just not in my head. Signs? No, not Signs. That movie, that alien movie with Amy Adams. But it's about language. It's about linguistics, and it's fantastic. Because it really breaks down like the nature of languages. Oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. I wish there was a book on it. Like I genuinely wish that there was a book for that movie. Arrival, that's it. It was like a really simple one word title, but it's fantastic. I really love that movie. I know, guys, I'm talking highbrow film. We were just talking about Ratatouille as well. But hey, what can I say? I just bring culture to my streams. get to watch me draw, and you learn a little bit about stuff. What more could you need from a Twitch streamer who is a mouse? Pain, misery, and suffering. Is that what you expect from me? I can do that, but my gaming stream's not until tomorrow, aka as Clippies. Oh, you want me suffering? You expect me to suffer? Yeah, like again, gotta wait till Friday. My Friday streams because I suffer a lot in them. And like usually Zombie Slayer will make fun of me, but he hasn't done that quite as much days. Been very respectful, which is unnerving. But that also doesn't cause me pain or suffering. I kind of expect that. Mass, are you Henry Cavill fan? By the way, he's a real one. All the love to him. Yeah, he's awesome. I love Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is great. It's every standard for a streamer, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a little bit of suffering that goes into every stream. I did expect that. Expected as much. That's okay. Kinda gotta suffer, but gotta suffer just a little bit. Every streamer has to play Dead Space at some point, and then they suffer. Especially if they're fearful. They're not good with horror games, guess what? You're playing Dead Space. Hold on, wait, I'll do what? Don't worry about it. That's not all. What? There more? All artists suffer for their art. Oh, that's true, I suffer all the time. I suffer all the time for my art. Constantly. Those streamer artists, the pain must be excruciating. Yeah, that's why it's called painting. Excellent. I love that suited. Very good. Love me a pun. You'll fit in well here. But how much longer do you plan on streaming? I'm about an hour 30, so I'll see how I go, but I'm aiming to do 3 hours tonight. That's because if you didn't already know, Henry Cavill will be a live action Warhammer 40k show or movie. That's cool. I'm not the biggest fan of Warhammer, but I'd watch that. Thank you, Smiley. Did they reveal yet which story they'll be filming? Question. Vicious. Don't get addicted to another good movie. Mad Max Fury Road. To your knowledge, no, but you're not a fan of 40k either. Still like the universe, though. The universe is cool. Yeah, I agree. I also like the universe of Vermintide, which is also Warhammer, but in the past, or in a version of the past. Or like it's a fantasy version. I don't know it well enough, but like I like it. I like Warhammer Vermintide game. So there's that. Ray Sigma. Sorry, every time I hear Sigma, I think of that meme. Sigma balls. Dumb. That's too fucking big. There are over 400 books. Yeah, that's too much. I can't read all that. That's too much to read. I'm not good at reading the things that I know will be short. Yeah, fantasy. Medieval fantasy is Warhammer, and the future sci-fi Space Marines is for Warhammer 40k. Yeah, that's what it is. Are you a Warhammer or Warhammer 40k fan, suited? You seem to know a lot about it. And I know I don't have to know everything, but I like knowing a lot. That's fair. That's fun. Don't need to explain yourself to me about wanting to know stuff. I have two figurines I'm playing on and off, and also have a couple of books from the Horus Rising series and some others. Ah, cool. It's awesome. That's why a universe such as Dead Space is one of your favorites, since there's not that much to it. Fair, fair. It's cool. I'm kind of chuffed to know that you like Warhammer suited. I don't know why, but it's just like I guess I didn't expect it, but it's also like that's super cool. It's like I see Warhammer and I'm like I got to be really careful because I definitely feel like I could get addicted to a game like that, but I also just don't have the cash, the wealth. I'm open to taking interest into many things. That's fair. That makes perfect sense. Also, an unofficial, official, uh, Warhammer 40k movie is Event Horizon. Fun fact: they just didn't get the license, but it's basically a lore movie. Oh, that's excellent. I love that. That's really cool. Ass is actually surprised his followers have hobbies. Clickbait titles be like, "No, don't do it. I don't pretend I underestimate my followers and my community. It's not that. I'm just surprised they have certain hobbies." Sudex doesn't want to be that guy, but it's unofficial. I don't want to be that guy, but it's unofficial. No, inofficial. Kick him. Oh, unofficial, not inofficial. I knew what you meant. Either way, it's not official. Either way, it's just not official. So thank you. Languages be confusing. Yeah, that's right. Nice, cool back. Love it. I hate those actually people, but yes, it's unofficial unless in other parts of the world. Unofficial does sound familiar though. It don't matter. All words are made up, technically speaking. I appreciate it. English is not your native language. Mustache. Let's be honest. English is a fucking ridiculous language to learn as well, to be fair. You can turn something off, which is to deactivate it, but you can also set something off, which is to activate it. Fucked up. Your native language, so no worries. However, it's also the only language you speak, still easier than others. That's also true. That looks shite. Let me just erase that and then probably just leave it there. Just a few little highlights. Nothing more, nothing. You guys believe that this was actually almost how the rest of the comic actually looked? At least in others, Japanese has entered the chat. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Love to learn Japanese. Lazy. Welsh entered the chat. German. A lot of languages that are crazy tough. The only Welsh I know is a Welsh joke. A joke in Welsh that is not appropriate, so I'm not going to be saying it on stream. I'll have to explain it, and then I'm going to get banned. Nice. Is it true that Spanish and Japanese are very similar? I don't know. Oh fuck. Sorry, Spanish and French. They're both Latin based, so I don't know if they're necessarily. Um, they're similar in that context, but it's the same as saying English and French are similar, or English and Spanish, because or English and Italian even, or French and Italian. They're all Latin based, so they all have the same origins. So as a result, you've got words that are kind of universal, um, or similar. Yeah, anything Latin based is similar. French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian share a lot of common vocabulary. Yeah, exactly. I think what differentiates them is the culture or is that history behind it, and that alters terms or pronunciation and phrases and things like that. They are next door neighbors, so I guess that it would make sense. Yeah, exactly. I think like because I remember when I was in Switzerland, uh, there was Swiss the Swiss national languages are French, Italian, and German. So a lot of people speak a combination of languages, and so as a result, you never feel like you're saying the right thing. First of all, as someone from another country coming there, you never feel like you're saying the right thing. You'll be like, if someone hands you something and you go grazie, and then they go oh grazia, and you're just like shit, and then you go to Italy and you go oh grazia, and then they're like no 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 grazie, or um or you go to France and you're just like oh grazie, and they're like no merci, you know. Mouse when I was in Switzerland, zombies like hold on, Mouse went to Switzerland. I've been to a lot of Europe, mate. I went to Europe for a art exchange, so I also speak a good bit of French. I don't speak a lot of French anymore, but the reason why I know a lot of Latin phrases is because I studied French for many years. Um, don't know why, really. I kind of wanted to learn Japanese, but I've learned French instead, and I was very good at French. Now it's talking about one country speaking several languages, America excessively sweating. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, there are plenty of places like that. Canada, they speak, some Canadians speak French as well. I mean, they have English and Spanish. Yeah, true. Um, uh, I also know in Australia, depending on your family genealogy, I know plenty of people who speak Italian as well in Australia. Um, it really depends on um, where your family comes from or hails from, or how far removed you are from things like that. Um, I know as someone who is part English and Irish and Maltese, I actually don't know fucking anything about Maltese, but I've got Maltese in me. I'm a Malteser. um, but it really depends on how willing you are to take up that kind of culture. Yeah, there we go. BRB laundry. No problem. Take care of that laundry suited. Good on you for being on top of things. Yeah. And like depends on interest as well. I know plenty of people who speak multiple languages because they were curious about it or they wanted to actually immerse themselves in the culture. I spoke French for many years because I was curious about the language, and then I stopped speaking French because I got lazy, and then I stopped going to school as well because I graduated, so I spoke less French because my family doesn't speak French. Oh, hold on. Love Smiley just popping in with some positive reinforcement. Keep doing what you're doing, Smiley. Love it. So wholesome. You can do no wrong. Up here. You sharp of an angle yet? There we go. Slightly better. Imperfect, but better. Something. All I can hope for. Just slightly better. Does that cat? Or that cat look like this angle? One Discord. Why'd that not work? Oh, is it because it's reserved for mods? Sorry, Smiley. There you go. Apologies, Smiley. I really shouldn't have that exclusivity. You joined the cult. Welcome to the Yak Cult. We're a very open and loving community where we support people if they shit their pants. Not if they shit their pants in an Engadine Macca's, but we support all. Be sure to check out all the channels. Anything tickles your pickle. Giggles, hello. So lovely seeing you. I was just thinking how much I missed you. So nice to see. So nice to see you in my chat. After seeing you post that strange Life is Strange 2 flashback, I was just like, oh yeah, I miss Giggles. It's because we're like now our stream schedules don't line up anymore, which is tragique. Nice having a moment that you can actually stop in. Yeah, appreciate it. You're so busy. Tragique, on tragique. Tu l'as vu. That is not French for everyone who wants to know. For those of you who heard me talking about how I used to speak French, tu l'as vu is not French. Not a word. I do be a busy little lass. You are. You're so busy. Busy taking the world by storm. Everybody who doesn't know, Giggles is a streamer as well. She's amazing. You got me into streaming. Uh, very funny. Dangerously so. You're interested? That's her Twitch. She's very good. Very worth checking out. But also she streams around about the same time I do, so if you had to choose between myself or Giggles, you know where to go. Definitely go to Giggles. How's the Beanstalk Gang? So far, so good. We're on to chapter 2. We're on to page 2 of chapter 2. And we have done 1, 2, and we're about to do 3 3 panels, which is pretty good progress for almost 2 hours actually. Like genuinely very surprising, but also pleasantly surprising. Bit Grey, not you. Nah. Giggles is on. It's giggle time. You're guaranteed a giggle in Giggles' stream. Here, uh, you might actually go through emotional pain. So I can't guarantee a giggle, but I can guarantee emotional hardship and character growth. And isn't that what we all want? A little bit of character growth, a little bit of zest to our lives. What is trauma if not just is just um uh the paprika of life? Rocky Horror Picture Show. I fucking adore the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I was trying to convince my friends, who include Snow, to go as the cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show for Halloween this year. I'm a big fan. I want to be Frankenfurter. The Rocky Horror Picture Show made me realize that I am bisexual. I would love that. He would. Um, but we all want to be Frankenfurter or Rocky. That's the problem. No winning. But hey, if it's any consolation, when Halloween comes around, I will make a PNG model of Frankenfurter with the mouse. So you guys will get to see it at the very least. Well, that's too long and thin for a finger. For a ratchet finger, it's gotta be a little bit thick. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm more than happy to do that. I was gonna do Halloween costumes for last year, but I was just not very good at Twitch. Or, oh, sorry guys, smacked the mic. And not very good at the whole streaming thing yet, so I wanted to just get comfortable streaming before I started doing anything like that. Which I am now. Definitely now very comfortable where I am. So, yeah, this Halloween, be prepared. Some Halloween costumes. Some will be cute, some will be spooky, but most will be sexy. Ugh. Felt gross saying that. Sorry, guys. Maybe not sexy. They may not be sexy outfits. They might just be. I mean, some might be sexy, but they'll look weird on this little mouse body, little grey mouse body. Let's be honest, guys. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a little bit awkward for all of us, but we'll get through it. Sexy. Yeah, exactly. Have you seen? Hold on. I'll show you one of my hats. This is my hat that I wore on my previous control stream, so gaming stream. So oh, head. An inside joke between me and another streamer about a haircut she gave me. Oh no. My new haircut. It's I did ask for a little off the top, but I think she assumed because I was little, I just meant all of it. She just grabbed a scruff of my hair at the top of my head and then just buzzed the rest. She only left a little on the top. Little on the top. Exactly. And she was like, well, technically that is what you asked for. And I was like, no. You've ruined me. Shout out to Moni Stera, everybody. She great, but also she give bad haircuts. That's good. Yeah, it's just showing that off because so dumb. Very funny. It's such a dumb joke. It's just that I'm like, oh, because I remember I started that stream up and I was like, hey guys, what do you think of my haircut? And it was just that. And people were like, oh my god, great mess, what have you done? Can you imagine if I was an actual like if I actually had like a webcam and showed my face and I actually had that haircut? That'd be absolutely horrifying. Oh, Smiley, thank you so much for following my. Yeah. I would feel bad for you. Oh yeah, I would be so unhappy. Just as a human. I mean mouse. Just as an individual. And I wouldn't be making any in person appearances for a while. Fundraiser wig. Ah man, I'd have to. Because that'd just be unforgivable. Ratchet does have a neck. That should actually be ensuring that in the angles where he would show, like, have a neck, neck is necking, having a necky, necking about. Luckily, I do also have wigs and stuff for my VTuber model. Very messy. Um, Fine. It's so interesting to look back on as well. So a while back, I did an evolution of Ratchet post, which was basically just showing off um, how Ratchet had visually changed over the comic, or over, various iterations of his uh, the drawings I've done of him. Um, and it is so interesting to see how far he's come because he used to just be like circle head, little like dumpling head, goofy little body, done. That's it. Uh, Whatever it is that is worst show I've seen. Okay. Uh, One of my least favorite movies is an Adam Sandler movie called Hubie Halloween. Fucking hate it. It's literally all the worst, like the worst things about Adam Sandler's movies put into just one movie. And I detest it. I detest that movie with a passion. I watched it for Halloween uh, 1 year, and I will never watch it again. It is so fucking bad. It's such an egregiously bad film. I detest. Oh, you detest that one? Hey, Tio, how you doing? Yeah, I think Adam Sandler is an eclectic taste at the best of times. Can be funny. I will give him that credit. Can be funny, and he isn't necessarily a bad actor, as we've learned from Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love, those films where he actually acts. The opposite, it's like niche to not like him. Yeah, it is. It is kind of niche to not like him. But yeah, so if you haven't seen Hubie Halloween, Adam Sandler plays a character called Harry Dubois. Oh no, Hubert Dubois. Sorry, Harry Dubois is the protagonist in Disco Elysium, which is a game that I love. Um, but he plays a character called uh, Hubie Dubois, and so it's a play on Hubie Doobie, uh, because his name is literally Hubie Doobie, basically. It's not a very intelligent joke, but the weirdest thing about this joke is that they never say, no one ever fucking says Hubie Doobie. They take it like excessively seriously to call him Hubie, uh, Dubois, like every single fucking time, and it's like it's goes to a point where it's no longer a joke. It's just like it's almost just a lack of self awareness, which it surely isn't. Like it surely couldn't be, but it feels like it. Talks about this, but at least he isn't a piece of shit actor like a lot of them are. Yeah, he's not a bad dude. Just makes crap films sometimes. So I honestly like I have no issue with him as a person. But yeah, like all of his work, like the worst Adam Sandler tropes are all in Halloween. In that he plays a character who is almost dangerously close to being like a mockery of mental disability, where it does feel like he's almost making fun of mentally disabled people. And I'm not sure why. The character doesn't make sense. Like his character doesn't make sense in that space, but he's like, yeah, somewhat impressed. Take a dumb joke seriously and never break character. But I do agree, his movies are decent at best. The best I've seen is Grown Ups. Which one? Yeah. Um, yeah, but basically he plays a character who's yeah very like I don't think intentionally making fun of like disabilities, but it's kind of comes across as it. I mean, there's a variety of mental disabilities. Sorry, yeah. So I mean, and that's also the point. It's not necessarily directed at any particular mental disability. It's directed at the stereotype. In that it kind of feels like it's just like a a broad stroke over the stereotype, like stereotypical disability. But yeah, but he basically plays a character who hates Halloween, and is terrified of any like pranks or spooks. So a psychopath or sociopath, basically. Not so much that. Basically, like I mean that the stereotype of like critically stupid, like critically stupid beyond the point of like so. Can't remember what his name is, but the character that Ben Stiller's character plays in Tropic Thunder, where they go like, you went too far, never go to that point. He basically goes to that point in Hubie Halloween, where he's just like critically stupid for some reason. Um, and it doesn't really pertain to the story because basically throughout it he's just constantly bullied by the townspeople. Um, but then like every woman in this town is vehemently like protective of him as well. So like not vehemently, like vanguardingly white knighting him. So constantly protecting him despite him trying to like stop trick or treating and and anything to do with Halloween because he doesn't like it. Uh, like motherly protective? No, not like motherly protective. Like sexually protective or like White Knight. Um, like White Knight, I gotta protect this man at all costs because he's the perfect man, basically. Which is also another the male fantasy. Yeah, exactly suited. Yeah. It's one of Adam Sandler's like worst tropes is that he's like a just an unlikable character, but every woman thinks he's the shit. Thinks he's like perfect. Which is yeah, first of his tropes. Basically, he's a super unlikable character who basically wants to cancel Halloween for all the kids because he doesn't like it. And a bunch of people bully him for it because he's just this annoying, uh, unlikable dude. And then a bunch of people that bullied Hubie begin to start like getting murdered. So it's a harem anime, basically. Basically, yeah. But so basically, the story is that then a serial killer's going around, killing the people who have been bullying Hubie. And so it's like, okay, cool. So surely the uh like everyone suspects Hubie because ultimately it's people who bullied him, you know, which admittedly makes perfect sense. It's people who are only linked because they do not like him. Aladare, Hubie, Halloween, Cortana, and of course Elle from Death Note. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah. So, but basically, then yeah, people start just like his bullies, his high school bully, all of these people begin to start dying or getting murdered. Like very clearly, they're being murdered, and so they suspect Hubie. And so basically, he's like, "This is my." So I need to clear my name, basically. Uh, and then the girl he's interested in, who's like the mum from Modern Family, um, is like obsessed with him. She's like infatuatedly in love with him, and so he begins to suspect her because it's all for the like the build up of the joke that like how could she be interested in me? She must be crazy, and it's like well that's weird. That's a weird turn for this movie to take. And the thing that I hate most of all was a Little Forces Halloween Durray. Halloween Durray. Jesus. That's a good one. But the one thing I really hate about it is this the Deus Ex Machina. Um, what's it called? Thermos. So Hubie carries around a thermos everywhere he goes, and it basically can do absolutely anything he needs it to do. And so it's basically a one-note plot device for everything. And you might ask, Gray, what do you mean everything? Like, it's just a thermos. It can't do that much. No. He uses it as a loudspeaker at one point. He uses it as a means to cut through a mesh wire fence at one point. There's a grappling hook in it at one point. And then one thing you also need to maintain and remember is that it also contains soup the entire movie. So there is soup in it for the entire movie. I also impose a challenge on you if you want to watch it. Last I checked, it was on Netflix, but it may not be anymore. So it's Batman's Bat Belt. Exactly. Yeah, except it's less cool because it's just a thermos. Uh, but I impose a challenge. If you want to watch it, if you're curious about it, watch the opening sequence. And if you do not turn it off immediately after that and go, fuck this, then maybe it's a movie for you. So basically, the opening sequence is like a condensed form of all the humor and all the kind of idea behind this movie, in which Hubie is riding down the main street and people are throwing shit at him. Uh, he manages to like godlike dodge out of dodge absolutely everything without getting hit once. Then when a bunch of kids throw eggs, well, not your intention, I'm somehow interested. Just the opening. Yeah, watch just the opening. I'm gonna explain it. I'm just gonna say it and tell you what the opening is. Yeah, basically people throw shit at him while he's riding his bike down the main street. He dodges everything like he's some sort of like he's Spider-Man basically. And then a bunch of kids throw eggs at him, and he manages to catch every single egg in his thermos, and then go, good protein, and then he drinks it, and then proceeds to vomit off the side of his bike. That is the opening sequence. Is there also slow-mo shots that are supposed to be cool? I can't remember. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I've tried to wipe as much of that movie from my memory as I can, but as you can tell, stuff still stuck somehow, despite my best interests. Oh my god. That emote is fantastic. Suited. I love it. And it's very appropriate. So yeah, this is a movie I hate with a passion. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Hi, I'm Tia. I'm taking the Grey Hubie challenge. Blah, blah. Okay, I sent out the challenge too. I mean, if we make that a thing, I would hate that. I think that'd be freaking hilarious. The one movie I dislike with a passion. Everything else, I'm like, it wasn't good. Even films that are like actually kind of damaging to even exist, like films that give the kind of wrong impression about how we should be living our lives, I can still be like, okay, that was just a mistake. It also goes to show how unpopular it was. It still has a 50% rating. Yeah, but those people are wrong suited. People who gave it a positive rating are just wrong. All right, they're just not correct. Sorry, but they just aren't. And this is a hill I'm willing to die on. He runs into a fucking school to give a presentation, and he's cloaked himself in a blanket that's stained with his own urine. The dude should be on a watch list. But people just tolerate him. The fact that he's only bullied by a few people is surprising. Sorry. Yeah. So is that movie part of your own personal hell we talked about? Yeah. Yeah, it's on the watch list on that plane. And no, not Adam Sandler. I actually wouldn't see Adam Sandler in my own personal hell. I'd see QB Dubois in my own personal hell. Tia, are you reacting to that uh, sheet scene that I just told you about? Because yeah, if that's too much for you, that's the film. I'm sorry. Fucked up. I know. I think when I saw that scene happen, I went, "Oh, you wouldn't do that in a good film. Like you wouldn't be able to get away with that in a good film." Pretty fucked up. Just realized there's a Ray Hubie challenge hard mode. Oh, is there? What's the hard mode? On an airplane? involves a, oh no, do you actually have, oh no. Also, please explain your own personal hell for those who don't know. Oh, right. I think at one point we were talking about like what would your personal hell be? So if hell wasn't like, the seven circles where you get like a hot poker shoved up your ass, but it was like your own sort of thing where basically everything you hated in life becomes like the staple normal day for your like eternity in hell. And for me, it was sitting in an airplane with like a kid beside me, a crying kid beside me, and then their parent like just eating very loudly, and then a big fat person in front of me, reclining their chair into my knees. Yours is math class. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like I could get away with math class. I think I didn't pay enough attention to math class, so I feel like I could probably be okay there. But yeah, with a big fat person, basically like, oh, and a kid behind you kicking your chair. Yeah, we did talk about that, and that definitely would be involved. Uh, and he'd be like one of those little rat tail kids too, who like when you look back and stare at them, you're like, oh, this kid would probably cut me. So you either like put up with it, or I mean, you're in eternal hell, so like you have to put up with it. And yeah, basically the chair in front of me reclining into my knees because I'm not a short person. Like I'm 6'2" in real life. I'm quite tall. Um, so basically, it wouldn't take much reclining to get into my knees. Long mouse. I am a long mouse. I'm quite a long mouse. Imagine I'm like the normal proportions for like a 3-inch mouse, but I'm just 6'2", so I'm really stretched. And I added that mouse only has one armrest instead of neither because the devil thought it would be more of a troll if mouse had just one armrest and than none at all. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like sticky as well. Like even though it's an armrest and it's my only armrest, it's sticky. That's my personal hell. And then like every maybe 30 minutes or every hour, the air hostess or air host comes by, just skips me. Um like for drinks and stuff, she just skips me. She just passes me by. Like passes my row by every single time without fail. And then like I finally snap after like 300 years and I'm like, "Please, I just want some juice." And she's like, "Sorry, we're out." And then it keeps going. Or she's like, "Chicken or fish?" And I'm just like, "Chicken, please." And she's like, "We're out of chicken." I'm like, "No." She does it like clockwork. Yeah, exactly. Just ignores me like clockwork every time. And I don't know if it's because she personally hates me or if it's because it's just how hell works for me. But yeah, every time without fail. An never ending flight is bad enough. Yeah, exactly. And like you look outside and it's just not a good view either. Oh well, I wouldn't be able to look outside because I don't have the window seat as well. I got the middle seat, probably. Does sound terrible. Probably like British Airways. Coffee or tea? Oh, I mean, I don't mind either, but I wouldn't get served. That's the thing. That's the great tragedy. I'll take tea. Sorry, we're out. Coffee? No. Oh, wrong. That's good. For everybody who hasn't talked about their personal hell, feel free to do so in the chat. What is your personal hell, everybody? Speaking of which, your brother and his wife visited us for the whole flight here. There was a overweight woman between them, so they couldn't have any space. Oh, that's rough. The stewardess on your left only tells lies, and the stewardess on my right only tells the truth at this exact moment. You like? The Nether in Minecraft. That does actually sound terrible. That would be a terrible existence. Yeah, but you gotta hide from the ghast now. All good. Good luck. Should be a shadow there. Cheeks should kind of curve that way. That's kind of only going to make sense in the highlights and also, no, just the highlights. For you, I feel like you'd be in a room with all sorts of art supplies, but most of them are just crayons, or when I use a pencil on the canvas, the lead will always snap, or the paper will crinkle. When you erase something, ooh, that would be fucking rough. Or I wouldn't be able to reach the canvas at all. Oh no. Just a room that perpetually extends as you reach for the canvas. As the deadline draws nearer as well. Ooh, horrible. Yeah, I can appreciate that. Art supplies that you can never truly use. That does sound awful. I feel like I feel like that could be added into my hell in that I'd be drawing, but it'd be like my mechanical pencil keeps running out of my mechanical. No, my mechanical pencil keeps breaking. I use point 0.3 as well, which is a very sensitive and thin and fragile size for graphite. So anytime I give my friends my point 0.3, it just snaps every time they use it. Because you got to be really gentle with that. That part is my personal hell. Someone using my point 0.3 mechanical pencil and just constantly snapping the nib. Oh, such a cute panel. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, sweet boy. And the reference has been super useful. I feel like I've drawn him proper. Drawn him correctly now. He looks like how I imagine Ratchet. I mean, not that the others don't, but like this is more accurate, I think. Oh, that's a shite. Yeah, it's difficult to draw a character consistently. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes it's really just come down to like, okay, this is enough. Like this is similar enough for me to feel okay with it. Because like Dogen, I feel like sometimes um, Dogen looks super different from panel to panel, but he looks consistently close enough that I'm kind of okay with it. but it's never going to be perfect. So I also like have learned to let kind of that stuff go. What's the worst show you've seen? I don't know. It's like, well, I watched like the first 5 episodes of Gotham, and I knew that was going to be shit before like it got to the point where they were starting to like bait people in with ships and stuff and relationships that didn't necessarily make sense in the story. I also watched Riverdale, um, but I watched Riverdale season 1, and then once season 2 started to get a little bit weird and a bit cringy, I stopped. So I think TV shows is slightly different, purely because with a movie you kind of just sit through it and grin and bear it, or grit your teeth and bear it. Whereas with a TV show, if you know it's going to be bad, you kind of just stop. Yeah, I saw a bit of Gotham. Isn't it super mid? It's terrible. It's really bad. But there is a certain demographic of viewer who is very vocal and love it, and I don't know why. I'll tell you what, though, a season of a show that I really hated because I loved the show is Castlevania season 3, which I've been very vocal about on my streams before. Is that I adore the first 2 seasons of Castlevania. They are perfect. I've used that show as inspiration for this comic in so many different ways, and some of you will be able to recognize that and see those little points and stuff. But Castlevania season 3 almost ruined my appreciation for the entire show for me. And I know people have really enjoyed Castlevania season 3. I'm just not one of those people. I hated it. I really hated it. Invite you across the threshold, mouse. No. Tio, if you're a vampire, fucking tell you what, you stay on that side of the threshold. But I also know what you mean. I love that reference too. That's right, we've talked about this. Yeah. It almost broke my appreciation of the entire series because just, I mean, I can explain what was wrong with it. I've studied screenwriting, I've studied writing. Um, so I can explain what's wrong with the series. Not series, the season. And like not series, I keep saying series. Season 4 does a lot to repair that. Like, and some of the changes that they make in season 4 for me feel like an admission of guilt that some of what they did was not good. And it's fine. And here's the thing, also, a point that I need to make. You can make stuff that's not good. I think that's fine. You got to learn from it though as well. And so I think that's why Castlevania does mend a lot of its bridges. I won't be watching the new show, Nocturne, I think it is. Just not. I just don't want to watch it. There is a season 4. It's fine. It's not great, but it's not bad either. It ends the series, and there's a lot to it that's really good, and there's a lot that I really enjoyed. But there's also a lot of the same problems that were in season 3. Not that I mean, that is a bad thing, but like, yeah. It does repair a lot of that damage caused by season 3. Because season 3 felt really lazy in some of its writing. Which is what like made me really struggle with it for such a long time. I remember watching it and then turning to my brother and being like, this was god awful. Like, this was a god awful season. And I was so angry. And now I don't have the strength to be angry in that kind of a capacity about stuff anymore. Because it's just not worth it. It's just needless anger things. But yeah. but I'm not watching the new one. Partially because I don't understand. I mean, I know it's a reference to, and not a reference. It's inspired by the actual games. So was the first series, but it doesn't make sense to me that first series is based in a fictitious world called Tagovishta. Is Tagovishta fictitious? I just want to look that up before I embarrass myself. There's also Nocturne coming next month. Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it. Oh no, Tagovishta is in Romania. I take back anything I was going to say. I like that. But I love the name Tagovishta as well. That's super good. That's a fantastic name. Um, in that case, I might watch Nocturne. Actually, never mind. I genuinely thought Tagovishta and by extension Grezit weren't were like based in inspired by a real place, but fiction. No, they are real. The places are real. So Tagovishta is an actual place, as I just learned. And I feel really dumb for saying that because my criticism of Nocturne was going to be the first season was based in a fictitious world, and then the new series is based in France. But now that I know that Tagovishta is an actual place, I take that all back. I am willing to admit where I'm wrong. I was wrong about that. I was stupid about that. So I might actually watch Nocturne as a result. But I also just wasn't happy with season three, and if there are any repeats of season three, then I'm out, straight out, just gone. My least favorite thing about season three was Jason Isaacs's because we're listening to uh, the Avatar theme from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it reminded me of Jason Isaacs. That Jason Isaacs is in season three of Castlevania. He plays a character who is otherwise completely helpful through the entire season, and like generally maybe not a perfect person, but like helpful enough to Cypher and Trevor. And then at the end of the season, we learn that he murders kids, and it's like that came out of like fucking nowhere. And it's like, oh yeah, it's because it implies that the world is a fucking terrible place, and it's like we knew the world was a terrible place. Dracula went on a revenge mission because his wife was unjustly murdered by the church. We know the world's fucked up. Has it has its little pleasures. I fucking hated that bit so much because it's like there's not enough emphasis, there's not enough explanation, there's not enough establishing to give us that understanding. Lunch break for you. Enjoy the stream. Thanks so much, Suited. Thank you so much for dropping in. I really appreciate it. Um, there's not enough exposition or information provided for us to reasonably suspect him of being a child murderer. But then the only time we get a solid confirmation is a fully like just verbal exposition right at the end of the series where he goes, it's just it has its little pleasures, and then a shot of a murdered kid because he murders kids, but he also doesn't murder kids. So quotation marks is like he doesn't murder kids, um, because like they fall into a pit of spikes, and it's like, oh, he's not a murderer, but he also murdered. Like, nah, I fucking hate this dude. I fucking hate this aspect of the story because it's just like he's just oh cool. He's just a. Not only was she unjustly murdered, but she was murdered on the crimes of being a witch for simply just wanting to learn more and better medicine to help people. Yeah, exactly. And that's the bit that I like. I fucking love that cruelty in the world of Castlevania because ultimately she wanted to help people, but her desire to help people in the world undercut and undermined the church's authority in the world. So as a result, they made some shit while they still had that strong authority. They made shit up to murder her so that they weren't going to be undermined even by the littlest herbalist or littlest village healer. Um, she's that hope for so many people, but that dies with her. Yeah, exactly. And I like that. And she's pretty much like our most positive character and like genuine hope for humanity and all this kind of stuff. Basically, the saving grace of Dracula, the hope in Dracula's heart, all this stuff. And that first episode is so good, like so fantastic because it humanizes Dracula. Um, and makes us hate the people who hurt Dracula, and we kind of actually rooting for Dracula. Um, in the first episode. Because he's been wronged in such a horrific way, and his wife, like this person who means so much to him, murdered for no reason or for greed. And it's awesome. It's such excellent writing. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Smiley. I really appreciate that. Your support you means so much. I'm flattered. I'm humbled. Thank you so much. I actually need to get a subscribe GIF as well for subscribers. I'm flattered. I'm touched. Thank you so much. And you get cool little emotes. Feel free, go nuts with them. They're great. I mean, I loved working on them as well. So what I think is cool about her is that she would have been just as important as Trevor, but not because she kills demons. She uses her craft, skills, and knowledge to help people get better from demons that are trying to kill people. Yeah, and I think one of her greatest powers is that her compassion, compassion that she just has for people, and this appreciation and empathy that she has for everyone. She's like a bit of a firecracker with Dracula at the start, but she goes there to seek out good in him, and it's heartwarming. It's so heartwarming. And also, I love so the voice actors are fantastic, but they have this genuine like the writing is so good because it just presents this genuine chemistry. Your dumbass has already seen season 4. Actually, that is the most telling like depict like reason that like telling signal that you have seen it that you just forgot it because it's pretty meh. It's pretty alright, but very forgettable too. Clearly. And she knows she'll more than likely die for just wanting to see Dracula. Yeah, she goes there with no uh, like intention of causing harm, but she also knows that like, hey, if this goes bad, I'll be dead. Oh, you loved it. You just seen so much shit. That's also fair. Yeah, I deeply enjoyed this show. So much so that one of my characters in D&D, not in this comic, just so you know, but in D&D, is based on Trevor, and actually uses the name of one of the Belmont clan. So his name is Leon. named after Leon Belmont, but his character is based on Trevor. But this character won't appear in this comic because he's part of a different campaign. And I've gotten very sick of adding my characters I've played into this series. I've already done maybe too much of that. So no more. Side note, but I'd love to become a Castlevania nerd. Play all the games? Yeah, you should do. You should get into it. Or like, even if you just like watch a bunch of videos on it as well, that's also still pretty good. If you don't have the time to play all the Castlevania games, you could always do that. Because there are plenty of very dedicated and very passionate Castlevania nerds. Oh, his mouth. It's interesting when you vicariously look on a lifestyle that is otherwise self-destructive. Yeah. But I also hate when franchises go to so many platforms. It's on the SNES or SNES, DS, and console. Like that's so many timelines and canons to pay attention to. That's true. And then it's like, well, I don't own a SNES or SNES, however you want to pronounce it. Do I get one or just an emulator? And it's like, oh, this one doesn't have an emulator, the DS. So do I just buy a DS? And the never-ending cycle of paying Nintendo. Like paying that bloody Nintendo, paying that, paying that bloody plumber. Hmm. JPRPG Hikamori. Like I would have to trade everything I've built in your life, but I could really get into it. Yeah, for sure, you really could. It's one of those things where you just like, I could probably get pretty addicted to this world and everything in it. But then also you're just like, do I take that plunge? That's something only you can decide. That the person you want to be. If so, good on you. If not, also good on you. And you're right, I could watch the lore videos about it, but you're one of those people who likes to learn things directly from where they came from instead of someone's paraphrased version, but lore videos are immensely useful. That's fair. Also very fair. And like you don't want definitely don't want someone curating your experience either. So I can respect that too. sudden flash of inspiration, you offer a weekend retreat where you can indulge in this without committing to a lifestyle. Yeah. Go to a Castlevania camp or a Castlevania retreat. Play Castlevania and watch Castlevania TV. Listen to me rant about how much I hated season 3. It's so yeah, Castlevania. The Castlevania retreat is just you and me. We just go and we go to an island and uh, like play on the SNES. Mouse, would you just so happen to be a fan of Fable? I love Fable. I haven't played Fable 1, but I have played Fable 2 and 3, and I enjoyed both immensely. I know Fable 3 is not quite as widely received, but I still enjoyed it. Don't get me started on that intelligence stat being tied to your character's age. Oh, right, yeah. Eh. Or the fact that in Fable 2, basically you just become ugly after once you uh, go to the second, oh no, the third age. So once you're no longer a young adult, just become fat and ugly if you're a man. Get nuts. Yeah. It's such a, I mean, you do you game, but yeah, you just become this like chunky, ugly dude if you chose the guy, not a little girl. Not a little girl. Chose the girl at the time. Or exploitable merchant system. That's true. Jokes aside, I similarly like the Fables. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking great. I need help with Fable. I've never played anything and know nothing about it. Do you know what Fable Anniversary is? Vaguely. I've never played it, so I can't necessarily offer you. Fable 4 is coming out soon as well, and I'm very excited about that. There are going to be giants in it, and as someone who's making a comic about giants, I am super keen. Man, thank God I don't need to do any talk. It's fading. I say we finish this panel and probably raid out. How's that sound, everybody? Sound good? Sound good? Uh, which ones have you played? Tio. Tio sounds Fable. Have you read the comic Fable? Fables. Sorry, got confused by my own words there. Have you read the comic Fables or played The Wolf Among Us? Out of curiosity. My brother loves the comics, and I think I do adore The Wolf. One of my favorite Telltale games. Probably, like, to me, one of the best. One of the best Telltale games they've ever made was Wolf Among Us. And Wolf Among Us 2 is potentially coming out. 1 and 2 and scratch its head a little bit of nice. The main ones. Heartfelt takeaway Fable is a really tasty meal that doesn't satisfy you. That's a really good way of putting it, Tio. Actually, that is so accurate. That is like bang on the money. I've never heard someone like compare it to that, but that is so accurate. Holy crap, good on you. Like that is 100% it. Question to you both: is Fable worth it? Yeah, I'd say so. But then again, also for me, it has a lot of nostalgia value. It's one of the first few games I ever played, like ever picked up and played. So I think it might just be nostalgia, but I truly enjoyed it, and I'm so looking for a new one. So if that helps you, sweet. But I'd say so. I'd say it's worth trying at the very least. But I also think Tio has a very good point in that it's not gonna you're not gonna feel necessarily satisfied by it. It'll be good fun. I don't think you'll necessarily feel satisfied. I like that. Wedge letting us know that's maybe sniffing or crunching his nose. Oh shit, I haven't told my composer that first chapter is available. There's someone who's actually composing music for this comic. For those of you who don't know, his name is Mike. He's awesome. He's an amazing composer, and I finally managed to get commission him for some music for this comic. Done two themes currently, and they're fantastic. I'm actually working on putting together some content that contains the music, so that you can all enjoy it. Because holy crap, he's done such a good job. He's so Ratchet's theme, and the Beanstalk Brigade theme are uh, are real songs now, and I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed with how they sound. They are awesome. They're beautiful. But I'm just currently working on making content or videos or things like that that will contain that music because they're not necessarily that long. So I wouldn't put them on stream just because they're like maybe 2 minutes long and there are only two songs. So we'd enjoy them for the first 2 minutes and then, oh, for the first like 15 minutes and then get annoyed. Yeah. But I will be making stuff for it and I will post it on the Discord and on Insta, of course. Because also my Insta is doing really well with comic content. One of the videos I posted had over 2K views, which is incredible. Like, I genuinely did not expect that kind of a response, so that's awesome. But yeah, the next stuff will actually have music that was composed specifically for this comic, which I'm very keen for. Knowing that my two-song playlist had a finite listen time, I made a remix competition for six genre communities. That's cool. I mean, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll do that. Because there will be, so the next themes are Dogen's theme, so the music of Ratchet's father figure, and then also the main villain's theme. Oh, not the main villain's theme, but the villain's theme. There are a few villains in this series. That's not a spoiler. Like, surely you guys will have guessed as much. There we go. Ah, that doesn't look right. Yeah, better. What's left? What is left? Just need a little bit of motion. There we go. Okay, guys. We are done. We've done 4 panels today. Holy shit. Shake him once, that's fine. Yeah, just a little bit of a shake. Just a cheeky shake. That's fine. Healthy. You don't want all that sediment falling to the bottom. Motion twice, that's okay. Yeah. You don't want all that sweet, sweet sediment trickling to the bottom. Gotta shake it up so it dissolves proper. Okay, so I've exported it. Good. Let's raid. The panels look great. Thank you so much, Tia. Very sweet of you to say. I do appreciate that, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. Makes my heart feel full. So the 2 streamers that I have currently are Zelstis. So she's a longtime friend. Great, very good streamer. She's currently playing Baldur's Gate. And then there's also Sunny and Logan, who is playing God of War Ragnarok. So anybody have any preference? If not, I'll just go for the person I've known longest, who I won't tell you guys who that is. So then it's a surprise. I mean, once I raid, you'll know. Any art channels? I don't have any art channels of people I know. If you have a recommendation, I'm more than happy to raid into them. Thanks for the stream, Mouse. Missed you. Missed you too, Zombie Slayer. It's lovely to have you around. We could also raid into a art channel as well. My UK's. But this humble one doesn't want to be too forward. That's okay. You could raid into my UK's. I'm always happy to take a suggestion. Roll a d6 or you'll feel guilty. You've known Gramos for pretty long. Alright, Zombie Slayer. Shut the fuck up. No, we can't raid into him. He's always offline by the time we get to raiding for some reason. I'll roll a d6. Hold on. You hear that? Okay. Okay, back. Hey, Richella. We're just about to raid out. So thank you so much for coming back. Lovely to see you again, of course. But we're going to just raid out in a moment. Oh, my UK's is doing a comic, it seems. So we should definitely raid into it. All right, but with that said, well, that's fine. It is what it is, am I right? Hey, Tia, just posted a sweet little Ratchet rung layer. All right, see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you all soon. Don't have a raid command yet, but there will be one. Sorry. But anyway, I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you so much for joining. And until next time, bye bye.